Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another What's Up Wednesday. Holy smokes, is this going to be a zinger tonight? Yeah, because I'm not standing in my van. I am standing in the SOB, some other brand. That would be a Storyteller Overland stealth mode 4x4 camper van. I'm in here for the next 2 nights, 3 days, and I am thrilled to have you join me on the live. I see a lot of regulars in here. This is great. Thank you for your support. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you for doing that. Let me show you what the program is going to be about tonight. And I am just delighted to have you here. So here's the front facing cab, and here's the cam back here. Hey, everybody. And we're going to give you a live tour here in just a minute, but let me show you what's going on tonight's show. We're going to talk about the first few hours in the Storyteller Overland vehicle. I picked it up at about noon Colorado time today. It's currently 5 p.m. Mountain time today. We're going to do a libation live, hopefully right at the bottom of the hour. I got a really big special bottle because it's a really big special day. And then I got a really great song from John Denver. You might guess why, because I'm where I'm coming at you from. This is the survey I did yesterday because we're going to talk about the toilet situation because it's so important to your van travel experience and comfort. So let me zoom in here for you so you can see this right here. And the question was, what type of toilet do you prefer in your Class B RV camper van? Your options were traditional wet flush toilet with a black tank, dry flush toilet such as a Lavio without a black tank, composting no flush toilet, cassette style wet flush toilet, or a porta potty portable style toilet. And I'm not overly surprised by these results. I'm wondering if you are. If you could comment for us on that question, what type of toilet do you prefer in your camper van? That would be a great conversation point tonight because we're going to spend a few minutes on it. As always, it's about your live questions being answered here on the live stream. And this is the format we like to use. 3 stars followed by 3 question marks and then your question. But wait, there's more. Oh yeah, we got to do libation live. So look at this beautiful bottle. I am so excited to crack this baby open. I've had this in my possession since October of last year, and it is unopened, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a special day. This is a day we've been working on collectively for about, I don't know, almost 2 years. Being in a storyteller, that is. Let me go a little further here. If you want to play the game and jingle the jar, if you give us a super chat or a super sticker like Matt has done right here, go over here, cursor, there we go. What happens is you get a jingle the jar, which is pretty cool. And we give a huge shout out to Matt. Thank you, sir. We met Matt in person in Bisbee, Arizona. What seems like, I don't know, a couple years ago. It's just been, what, the end of April, I think? God, this year's just flying, right? So thank you, Matt. So if you want to jingle the jar, this is better because what happens next is you jingle the jar and then you have to drink. If you're playing the jingle jar game, thank you, Roads of Life and his lovely bride there. They're actually going to be hosts. They're going to be guests in August on this show. So you can do the super chat to get us all to drink more. What's wrong with that? I guess I don't know. And that's the way we roll. Or as important as that is, it elevates your question to the top of the stack, and we will get to it right away. So thank you for that. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oh yeah, this is kind of a big thing. So we've been getting some requests for more owners sharing their van story. We've got some really great ones. Last week we had Neil and Britt. If they're in the audience tonight, give them a big shout out. Full-time travelers in their Echo. It doesn't matter what kind of RV you're in. Let's keep it in the compact RV space, so not really necessarily Class C's, unless you're moving to a smaller rig. And the Class A's, we love those rolling residences, but we like to kind of keep the story around the compact RV or your trip. Now, we know some of you have taken some really cool trips in the last few weeks. So if you have a trip story you'd like to share, come on the show and don't be bashful. We don't bite. You don't have to be pretty. I mean, just look at me, right? And I have a form on my website that you can go to, gosmalllivelarge.com, fill out that form, and that comes to me, or use this email address. And please do not bombard me with a bunch of questions that should be posted on YouTube. That is not the purpose of this email address. This is to send me your request to consider sharing your van story, your trip story, or if you have a van tip or something of that nature. So a lot of folks are taking advantage of this, and I hate to be that guy about it, but this is not a free-for-all email address. So please restrict it to that. Fair enough? We are a benevolent dictator here. What can I say? Where am I coming at you from? Always like to bring that up. So I am literally in Lakewood, Colorado. It's a Denver suburb, and that's what the van looks like I'm in right now. And that's what I'm looking out the front window. Right there, the nice neighbor's fence. And this is kind of where we are. And if you were with us last week, you're gonna be like, well, this is the same area. Yeah, I kind of returned to the same harvest hose site, but I'm down the hill because I got good reception, because I can only take so much change in a single day. And let me tell you, I've had so much change in the last 6 days. I'm about to explode like a egg in the microwave. So that's kind of the deal there. It's pretty warm everywhere. Look at Spokane, Washington there, 90. That'd be 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Their Apple weather map just keeps having data problems. I don't get it. But my fortunately, it's very nice here. About 70, high 70s a day, and cools off in the high 50s at night. So it's perfect. No AC needed. But look at Phoenix, and yeah, it's just really hot already. It's just barely June. I'm crazy. Let me give you some of the real estate prices. I'll zoom in here for you. The real estate in this immediate area is not too bad if you got $500,000 or more in your pocket. Now, some of these are apartments, but mostly just single family dwellings from what I can see. And the entry point's at least 300 grand. Not sure where that buys you, but everything is really 500K and north. And this is the diesel, because the rig I'm running around in for the next few days is a diesel Mercedes Sprinter. Diesel is kind of expensive-ish. It's about 50 cents more per gallon than gasoline. So we'd love to know what the prices of fuel in your area is. And let us know where you're watching from. If you can type in again the 3 stars, or let us know where you're watching from. And if you have your country flag is not on the map here, type in NEW, and that will get your flag on the map here. So this is really, really great. We're going to say hello to the regulars here in just a few minutes. I just want to get through some of this content and then give a quick tour, and then we'll pause for some questions. Let's keep going. All right. How are we doing so far? Having fun? Whew. By the way, this whole thing is powered by Volta again today, because I'm in a parking lot running all my gear. You'll see that here in just a second. Man, have I been putting out YouTube videos? OMG. I'm happy to say that this was the first kind of travel video I've done in a very long time. It's done quite well. This posted on June 4, and it's had over 10,000 views. So thank you for everybody supporting travel content, because we're going to be doing more of it. I'm not surprised to say that this video, which released this morning at 8:10, has already had 11,000 views by comparison to the travel video 4 days later. Now, I do need to make a clarification on this. I made a mistake. I uploaded the wrong video. I mentioned that this Ram ProMaster 1500 van that Thor turned into the Scope will not fit in a standard garage. The standard height of a garage is about 7 feet. This thing is probably coming in just right over 9 feet. So many of you called me out on that, and I appreciate that. I made the correction in the video description. So please don't buy your new Thor scope, drive it into your garage without considering the height situation. And I will take no blame for you driving your van into your garage and wrecking everything, because you should be a smarter person than me. I live in a van. What can I say? And on Friday morning, what we're going to do is release this. This is a 1-minute camp setup. That's another place video, but I'm going to show you how I set up my camp in literally less than a minute. It's pretty stunning. I'm really excited about that. But we got a ton of content coming at you over the next few days. So days and weeks, months. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel. Go Small, Live Large on the YouTube. Tours, tips, products, places. That's what we bring you here, the compact RV experience. All right, a few more things, and I'm going to show you this tour of this van. It's pretty amazing. If you want to kind of follow the Go Small, Live Large and larger community at large, does that make any sense at all? Please search Facebook for Go Small, Live Large. We just want to give a big shout out to Sandy and Chris for standing up our very own Facebook group that's available to everybody. You have to kind of be invited in, so make your invitation, and Sandy will check you in. And so many of you have really been taking advantage of this and setting up your own travel schedules with each other. So cool. So again, just search Facebook for Go Small, Live Large. Big guests coming up over the next few weeks. So we've got Nick Schmidt. He's the general manager at Sunshine State RVs. He's coming to talk about the state of the B class RV industry. I'm seeing. We'll see what he thinks. Some big shifts in the van space. So towables were hit hard about a year ago, a little less than a year ago, on price and availability and too much inventory. And I'm seeing that with vans. So we're going to be curious to see what Nick has to say. The following week, we've got Nick Recchio. He's the general manager of Forest River's B van division at Coachman RV. So he's going to give his perspective from the Coachman point of view on the B vans. And then in July, we've got Steve Hood, a Go Small Live Large audience friend. He's going to share the story like we talked about earlier. He hit 25 national parks in 60 days. How'd you find time to sleep? He's a Travato owner. And then, as I mentioned, in August, we've got Roads of Life, Rob coming on, celebrating his retirement. Thumbs up for Rob. And he's an Embassy RV owner. We got a lot going on. In-person events, we got the Volta camp out at the end of August, and we're all going to gather in October in Chattanooga for the Adventure Van Expo. You don't want to miss that. Just happened a few days ago was the Embassy RV customer campout event. It went from Friday to Sunday, and I can tell you we had so much fun. Let me give you a couple of pictures. They had nearly 40 Embassy RVs, the world's largest gathering of Embassy RVs there in Bristol, Indiana. It was so much fun. Everybody kind of had some degree of which one van is mine, because they all look the same. It was kind of funny. Great group as always. They invite me in and treat me just like an Embassy RV owner, and I'm happy to say we've got some really cool content coming up, including 2 van owner tours and 2 videos by Terry Minix himself. Both of those all 4 of those you will not want to miss at all. So watch for those very soon. They just rolled out the red carpet. They fed us, they watered us, and as always, we had a huge campfire. There's a few bottles of bourbon there in the foreground. This has become a thing, which is awesome. Folks bring their bottles to share, and that's kind of the whole idea, is sharing your stories, the campfire, and the van. So if you were there, you know how awesome that was. But wait, there's a couple more things. Please hold. So this is Vantopia, Florida, coming at you mid-February 2024, so not that far away. They've only got a few tickets left to be in our group, which would be the Embassy RV group and the Go Small Live Large group. So buy your tickets, 5% discount. That's the code GSLL Scott to be in our Birds of Feather. Let me show you what that looks like. So they actually moved the Embassy folks closer to the Go Small Live Large. We have 3 streets to ourselves. If you don't make the cut of being inside of our Birds of a Feather group, there's lots of spaces elsewhere. So please come join us and hang out with us. It's pretty cool. And this is just an expanded view. It's just really, these guys have done a great job already. We're expecting Rover Vans out of Chicago to be there. We're expecting Embassy RV. Terry gave me a tentative, to be there. And we know a Storyteller will be there. I think, well, they'll be there as owners at least. And then Sunshine State RVs will be there. So that's the deal there. How are we doing on time? 15 after already. Oh my gosh, I got too much monologue stuff. All right, you guys want to see, and gals want to see a tour of the van? What do you think? Let me just see if we have any more super chats. I want to give them a shout out before we get any further. We got a lot of folks in tonight. This is so great. All right, let me switch cameras. This is going to be tricky. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab the camera up front, and I'm hoping the audio works. So I've scrolled all the way to the bottom. If you can give me a thumb up that my AirPods are working, even though I'm carrying a different camera. We want to get the audio in a state where it's good to go. And I'll do this without losing everything. All right. So if you can give me a thumb up on the audio. There's my setup. There's the bourbon. So awesome. So if Bill and Joe, I see lots of thumbs. So just want to verify the audio is a thumb up. There's a slight echo here on my side, but just to make sure this audio is good before we go. Audio thumb up. Thank you, Travel Dreamer. All right, let me start up front. And if you've kind of been in the van community for a while, this is not going to be unfamiliar to you. I do have a few things to talk about the Sprinter chassis right away, though. This is on the 140 wheelbase, not the 170 wheelbase. This is on the, I don't even know the real number, 20 feet size van, Sprinter. I drove the 24-foot 170 wheelbase, and I can tell you this size is much better powered. I assume they're the same engine. I don't know, but I can tell you this was a drastic improvement on the smaller Mercedes Sprinter than the big one I drove last weekend for the Rover van build out to the Embassy RV camp out. The acceleration was better. All the safety stuff though drives me crazy, but that was a big difference. Gas mileage already better than that big rig. Up here, what kind of makes this cool is this is really open. A lot of people put a big shelf in here, and unless you really need the storage, I would probably not fill this in with storage. Now, my Ram ProMaster starts right here, a big old shelf, and I'm already finding my muscle memory ducking in under this shelf that doesn't exist. It's pretty funny. Can't tell you what a difference it makes not to have this open. Here's my garbage sack. Pretty interesting. The windows do open, which is nice. They crank right here on this little lever, right? So it's very stealthy from the outside because they use these automotive style windows. This is pretty cool. This is a storyteller thing that I really do enjoy. So Volta, we know and love Volta. Pure, well, it's not Pure 3 in an Overland vehicle, but it's a really advanced lithium energy package. And they have their own little situation here on the screen. If I touch this, it goes to the, that's the fuel gauge for the battery, if you will. So I'm at 90%. Now this has a 13,000 watt battery of storage. So in its current status, I'm good for 60 hours almost. You can see that. Anyway, I'll do the math on that. Now I do have the inverter on. You saw that, right? Inverter on, but I'm not running the air conditioner. So I'm just running the outlets for the show. This is what's really special. Look at this thing of beauty. So this is their control panel. That's a Storyteller special. You control all kinds of things here, like the vent. And what I can do, I've got this in manual mode, so the vent is open. I control the fan speed here. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it's really different implementation of the fan. I really like it. Again, just a lot of different things can be controlled here. Fresh water. They've really given us a lot of thought. And then with the AC, go here, climate. AC. AC go off. Back on. What does that do? You don't want the AC on there. That's interesting. The fan keeps running. Okay, that's good. Anyway, it's a really nice system. I'm getting used to it. This is about the third time I've touched it, so it's pretty cool. This is, we're not unfamiliar with this. This is a lagoon table. It swings out, so these seats do spin around. So functional space for the driver's seat spun around. Two people can really get cozy and use this. So you can get three people around this table. But I think what a lot of people do is they put this down, this groove lounge, so you kind of hang out in this area. This does convert to a bed. I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to do it in the van tour that we have coming up because it takes two hands, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty comfy. 3-point seat belts, very nice. The groove lounge, as they call it. You get windows on this side, so I'm pulling in air from the front of the rig. They're there, and it's going out this way, and then I've got a window in the back open. You'll see that in a second. This is the Galley. It's pretty compact. They got a lot going on in here. Some buttons here. We got the fridge here. We got loaded up with all the good stuff, right? It's the isotherm, I think it is, so it's a pretty good quality. This is the sink. I do actually kind of like these sinks versus the residential that has a big old faucet hanging out. You know, these are camper vans, they're not houses, so let me know what you think about that. You know, pretty usual stuff here. You're like, where in the heck is the cooktop? Yeah, the good question. Right here. Never been used. I'm not going to try it either, although maybe I will. I have to go buy a pot, but I'm just seeing a real trend here of no cooktop because you plug in your induction cooktop here and then you run off your electrical system. Pretty awesome. Going back to here real quick, if I can get this to work without freaking everything out. Climate. If you want to do heat, this runs on chassis fuel. So the vent, there's two vents. There's one down here, the one in the back. And according to the Storyteller guy, Evan, he said it gets really warm. And that's also what powers the hot water. So that's how that works. A lot of storage in here. Again, kind of same similar thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. What the heck is this thing? Well, this is where the shower goes. So you're probably familiar with this. They call this a halo shower. We're actually going to be using this. This pulls out, and then this lifts up like this. And voila, you have a shower pan. So this comes out and you do your shower in there. I will actually be using this. I've never done that before. This will be the first time. What's missing? Yeah, that'd be the toilet. No toilet supply. Good thing I practiced last weekend. So what I have in here is a chair, a cord, and some agua. And that's where that's going to stay right there. So again, this will lay down and you kind of this whole thing becomes seating and hangout area. Moving toward a little more galley stuff. So this is the microwave, right? A sound bar here, some lighting. They do a really nice job on the lighting. It's directional. So if you want to kind of move that way, it's really, really nice. We do find out the storage. So small cabinet. I'm a little surprised how, what's the right word? Narrow, not deep. These cabinets are. I'm used to a little more depth. I don't know, they just seem to be more raked. Maybe that's because it's a van than a ProMaster. Maybe that's evidence of that. How we doing, folks? And there we go. So a little more storage. What's cool? It's one long cabinet here, which I actually prefer. Right? You see that? So you can kind of really maximize the space as you see fit. A lot of people put dividers in the middle. Rounding that out back here. These are all the window coverings. And then this is the stuff. I'm a little surprised, I have to say, about the storage. So this is the Volta bank, batteries and inverters and all that business. Over here is water tanks and some other water pumps and stuff like that. So that's kind of the storage. Unless you take this massive garage storage down here like I'm doing and make bins or some stacking system. We've seen some cool things with this kind of area used for people to store. But other than these cabinets or drawers here and those cabinets, well, not even that one. That's the only storage in the van, which is, I was a little surprised at. Not really having looked at that before moving in here. This is the bed. I'm not going to put this down, but you put it down like this, and this whole area becomes the bed. And you sleep east-west, not north-south, because it has a flare bump out, which is pretty cool. My hat. I'm curious if you're a Storyteller owner, how big of an air tent is this thing? I would demo this, except for getting this thing latched is just the biggest rear end pain in the rear end. That's how I say it. And talking with Evan, they used to have a hook, which would be much easier, like an eye hook. So it clicks in like that. This thing, you had to fuss and fret and cuss at it. Otherwise, I demoed this, and I don't want to do this while this is live. But nonetheless, this lays down, and I'm happy to say this is going to be a pretty comfy night's sleep. Sleep, obviously, air conditioner. And here's some of the Molly panels on the outside. You can see that, right? What's up? Okay, so that kind of rounds out the tour. Let me put this back. We'll take some of your questions. What I'm again finding is the quality here is really special. It's significantly better than the big builders, I would say. This thing doesn't rattle. There's not a squeak. It was kind of a weird experience. Now I don't have all my stuff in here. Most of my rattle comes from all the stuff in my cupboards and cabinets. I'm not. We'll see how I deal with this. No real permanent table, no toilet. We'll talk about that in a second. But it feels pretty open. And I will say that this is a pretty narrow space here. So it's either one person's going back that way and that one has to wait until you pass and they come up here. But overall, from the outs or from the inside, it's a kind of an open floor plan, I would say. Distinct living areas, I would say you have two. Up front, great room, and then back here. I do like that you can remove this cushion here. Be super careful to knock everything off. This can be like a standing desk, like I'm even doing here. So again, pretty cool space. Pretty cool van, and just a huge shout out again to the Storyteller team for hooking me up, because this has been a long time in the works. All right, let me put this back here. All right, let me go check out what's going on here. And then we will get into some more of the content. Let me shift gears, and here we are. Let's go this way. I love live TV. Um, okay, let's see. Let's say hi to some folks. What do I got here to tell you? Floor plan we talked about. We toured, and we. I'm going to talk about the toilet here in just a second because I think it's just super important to have this discussion. It really boils down, ladies and gentlemen, to your style of travel. And I've already got some feedback, a little defensive, I would say. Some storyteller owners talking about the toilet. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let me just say hi to some folks, and what are we doing on time? I got 4 minutes before we crack open the bourbon. Okay, right here we are. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so let me go like this, and we'll go to the top. We got Sherry in here. Again, I just like to say hi to our regulars and our brand new folks. So we got Bill and Joe in here. Thank you very much. They're in New York. Yeah, the Canadian fires are really kind of bad in the Northeast, right? So thank you, Bill and Joe. Hopefully, we're going to talk toilet here in a minute. And I got a lot to say, as does Roads of Life, toilet talk. So important. And let's see. Here's Louisville Steve. Great to see you. Sherry, back at home base. Sherry did a great job with the embassy event last weekend. But really, the embassy team really did a superb job. This was year number 4. If you're an embassy RV owner or wannabe, the first weekend of June is generally when we do this. And thank you for doing that again. Here's Roger and Jane back in Byron. I know you just had a huge trip. If you guys want to share your trip, what did you see? How did you travel? What did you learn about travel? I know you guys, I tap you often. I apologize for that. But if you want to share your story sometime over the next few weeks, let me have a drink of the Gatorade. Let me tell you, I have a new appreciation for Gatorade bottles of this size. We'll talk about that in a minute. And I should have got a different color because I got to tell you, in the middle of the night, that'd be 2 a.m., you really don't want to grab the wrong bottle to drink out of. If that gives you any hint of what's coming. Jeez. Oh, good Lord. Let's see. Peggy Owen. Do you think the storyteller is worth the large money? It's all a value proposition for your style of travel. They're on the expensive side for sure, but a lot of them are on the expensive side. These are just really well made, and it's probably among them, unless you really get into it, the craft van builders. These are kind of in a category by themselves, I would say. They're a volume builder compared to those guys, but they're nothing in volume compared to the big guys. And there is a marked difference. I would put a number of 50 grand on the quality, better thinking, better usability, functionality than the big guys. If this is the kind of van you want to roll in because of where it can take you where you want to go. And that's what we're going to talk about. It's really the style of travel. So if you had, all the money in the world or even not, but you really want to accomplish some bucket list things and you want an off-road adventure van, you got to put these guys in the top, 3 to 5 to check out. Yeah, you're going to pay the money, but you're going to get it back too. If you look at the used storyteller numbers, they stay pretty high. So unlike driving off a Revel, do we pick on Revel? Let's just pick on the big volume guys. You drive it off and you probably lose, many percent, $10,000-$15,000 in the first, I'd say 6 months. Some would argue in the first 20 minutes. I think that's more the big Class C, Class A, and towable guys. But good question. People agree or disagree with me? Here's Ohio Sharon in the house. Here's Frisco T. How do you like the feel of the Sprinter? $1 million question. How's the shower and the toilet? Haven't tried the shower yet. Thank you for the question. Toilet. Yeah, I'm had to. Good thing I practiced last weekend. It's extremely different for me, certainly as a full-time traveler with a bathroom right here all the time. Sprinter, I much prefer the shorter wheelbase than the big one. It was so underpowered. The big one I drove last weekend from Chicago to Elkhart, I was getting 10 to 12 miles a gallon. I was stunned at how poor the acceleration was and the gas mileage. I was like, I'm used to 15, 18 on the highway. That's what that thing was getting. My van routinely gets 15, 18, and maybe even 20 if you're downhill with a tailwind, right? So we'll let you know. We've got a lot of content. We're going to try and get it as fast as possible because this is a really big deal for me and for the channel, including last weekend in the Rover vans. I'm looking for a few more folks. John in the house. Good to see you, sir. Let's love seeing you. There's Gary in the house. Orland Park. Gary, we saw you in Elkhart, right? I had so many people. I apologize if I got that wrong. Marie's in the house. Good to see you, ma'am. Durango, Colorado. Where in the heck is that? Is it close by? Is the question. We got Justin in the house. He's a new Echo owner. Headed to Davenport, Iowa, home of Winnebago Industries. Wonder what for. To tell him how awesome you love your Echo, right? It's a pretty cool rig. We're trying to get Justin on the program to talk about his conversion from Travato to Echo, which is a pretty big deal for him and his lovely dog, Bernadette. You all talk amongst yourselves. Let me just look. So we get Neil and Britt in the house. Hey, Scott and everyone coming in from Cactus Brewing Company in Bernalillo, New Mexico. 80 degrees, but looks like it's going to start storming. They're just a great folks in an Echo with two cats. Count them, 1, 2. And if you have not subscribed to their channel, please do that. Neil and Britt, cleverly named. Oh no, this is great. YouTube user in the house. We had so many chuckles about this. Gary, I hope I got that right. If not, I apologize. I think the dry flex product wasn't rated higher because many people are not as familiar with them. Otherwise, I expect the number to be a lot higher. I think after you see, thank you, YouTube user, I think after you see the demo that Terry did, people will get it more. And he and I had a recommitment to doing more things together. He and I had not done a video in a year and a half. So we've got a lot of stuff coming out, yeah. Including more videos about really unique things on the embassy, including the toilet. So hang in there. Alfred in the house. Alfred's awesome. Steve Hood going to be a guest in the next. Oh, come on. There he goes. He's going to be a guest on the Woo. What's Up Wednesday next month. I'm all about the rear bathroom of the Travato KL. Highly prefer to do those activities separate from where any cooking is taking place. Yes, sir. Bill and Joe prefer a full bathroom with all the luxuries, including a bidet. Have you considered the Four Seasons, sir? They have those kind of things you're looking for. Good luck finding that in the van. The bidet, by the way, in the van is made to clean your toilet bowl, not to clean your bottom. Unless you really like cold water on your bottom. That would be something to behold. I'm not doing demos of that. All right, how are we doing? I think we got everybody pretty much. So hi, Jane and Roger. Good question. How does the Sprinter drive compared to the ProMaster? There's just something comfortable to me about the ProMaster. It's a diesel thing. The acceleration is not great. Now, I will say in this shorter wheelbase, it was a marked improvement over the bigger one. I don't know how many hundreds of pounds it adds to add those extra few feet for the larger full-size Sprinter, the 170 wheelbase. This is the 144, I think it is. But diesel, I'm just not a fan of diesel because of the not great power out of the gate. It's more expensive most place you go. It's actually, when you put it in, it's not clean like gasoline. Gasoline kind of evaporates, so the handle's never goopy. I was pretty stunned. And it's a Mercedes, so it's got all these safety features. And when I first drove the one last weekend, the big, the 170 wheelbase, I actually had to pull over to a rest stop and turn off all the safety stuff. It was so annoying. Let me know if you've had that experience or not. As soon as I get out of here, that's what I'm going to do tonight when I get to my Harvest site, is turn off all the safety stuff. The first time I got on the right side of the lane in the little white line, the whole van shook, and I'm like, what in the hell did I hit? It was a safety feature told me I was getting too close to the white line. I like to drive my van. I'm not waiting for it to tell me what to do. So I turned everything off except for the crash avoidance. That one's kind of cool. I don't use cruise control. So I don't know. Not a big fan of the Sprinter. I'm thinking about doing a video, 7 things I hate about the Sprinter and the one I like, which I'll give you a tip. It uses USB charging, so you can charge your phone really fast. But wait till you see where you have to put your charging port to get to that power. I don't understand. Good question. Let's see. BB. Hi, Scott. Are you familiar with the zero G collapsible drink hose? Yeah, so what do you think of it? Which hose do you find best for camper van? We're about to get our first rig, a range line, very nice, an Airstream product. Good job. Many of you have the same kind of hose I have, which is the zero G collapsible, um, drinking water safe collapsible hose. Why? It's fabric, so it folds up to like this. If you get the plastic hoses, you're going to have a heck of a time putting that in a storage compartment easily in your van. I would highly recommend the fabric zero G collapsible. They're plentiful everywhere. Um, Amazon has them. You can go to my website and click off from the products there. I found them often at Camping World stores, some of the RV, like La Mesa RV stores, Lazy Days RV stores. They have parts and stuff, so those tend to be stocked more readily. You're probably not going to find one at Walmart, sadly, but I would highly recommend it. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Uh, Travel Dreamer wants to know: can one camp in a minivan at in Vantopia? Well, last year we had somebody camp in their car, rental car. I'm not sure I would recommend that, but check with the producers, and that would be the Vantopia crowd. So go to vantopia.co, co, and pose that question to them. I don't want to put words in their mouth. You'll have a lot better experience if you rent a van. It might cost you, $3, $4, $5, $800, but you're gonna have a lot better experience. And you get to test drive the floor plan that you probably want to buy, and then realize that worked or it didn't work. Ask BJ and Joe. They rented one. All right, let me get into this a little bit on the Storyteller. Let's talk about toilets. You guys ready? And ladies and gentlemen, I should say, guys and girls. Okay, so floor plan we talked about. I think the big bubble there, the big thing is style of travel. And if you haven't really determined why you want to travel in a van, you need to sit and think about why you want to travel in a van. Absolute freedom would be a why. I want to go anywhere, do anything I want, and stay out long time in my van. Oh, we just got a super chat. Let me interrupt my thinking there. We want to give these folks the way down the bottom. Yes, it is. Oh, we got quite a few. Here's Josh. Thank you, Josh. He is actually one of the producers of the Antopia. So, Josh, if you can help us out, can somebody bring a minivan and camp out? So, hi, Scott. Well deserved beer. I may hope the GSLL family is having a nice Wednesday night. He's coming from Sarasota, one of the beautiful places on earth, and one of my favorite places in Florida. Even though that's home base, I actually don't like Florida a whole lot. There's some sweet spots. Sarasota is one of them. There's John in the house giving us a tip. So if you're doing the drinking game, sip up, folks. I'm going to get through this before I pop the bottle. Thank you, John and Josh. Really appreciate it. All right. But the floor plan really dictates. I would pick floor plan over chassis. If I found the ideal floor plan, I would actually think floor plan trumps a chassis. Why? Because you're going to be more comfortable in it. You're going to have more fun. It's going to be deliver the efficiencies, the functionality that you want based on why you want to travel and how you want to travel in a van, which kind of leads me to the toilet. So here's the deal on toilet. I get a lot of pros and cons on loving my wet flush toilet into my 12-gallon black tank. Just like at home, when you do your thing, you flush it, you never see it again. Once a week, about every 7 days, I put my sewer hose to the tank, connect to the tank, I put it into the dump station, I pull the valve, it empties the tank in about 10 seconds. And then you do the Santee flush of the tank. That takes about, 2 minutes. And you close that up, and then you pull the gray valve, and the gray empties in probably 3 minutes because mine uses a pump to get it out of the tank because of the axle layout. Point being is that when I flush the toilet, I never see it again. Now, cassette style toilets, I've had some thorough conversation with cassette style travelers in Echoes in particular, and they really caution on how to empty it because you got this big case, right? And what it is it's like a travel rollerboard suitcase, and you got to really mindful how full it is and where are you going to dump it. So if you're rolling it into some place and you're dumping it into a toilet, you've got a big old toilet bowl as an aiming target, right? Well, if you've got a 6-inch hole in the ground and you're trying to dump that cassette toilet in it and it starts coming out before your tube is in the hole, you just got a bunch of kind of everywhere. is what I was told. We really should have spent more time trying to capture that video. It would have been absolutely hysterical. But that's kind of one of the pinch points of a cassette is the fuller it is, the more tip prone and accident prone there could be. I could be 100% wrong on this. I'm just sharing what I was told. So that's the cassette thing. Um, Now there's the dry flush like the Lavio. You're going to see this. Think of the diaper genie on steroids. So you do your thing, you push the button, it all gets hermetically sealed, drops down, it goes into a big garbage bag. There's no water, there's no black tank. When you empty the garbage bag, goes into the dumpster just like you put diapers in there. There's no big difference, right? And it's done. That to me is super, super attractive to even the black tank. Um, but the problem with the porta potty, it's almost like a child potty trainer. It kind of comes with a Storyteller. It comes with some other adventure van type rigs. It's 2.5 gallons. And if you go to Dometic.com, type it in, you'll see what it looks like. And I can imagine a regular size adult putting their bottom on that thing and doing it in this environment, right? With your spouse in the same environment. To me, it's a toilet and privacy issue. Most RVs have a bathroom, and the Storyteller people will tell me that you only spend 1% of your time in or on the toilet. I'm like, well, what if that's 50% of the reason you bought your van so you can have a toilet anywhere? Have you been into a public restroom lately? Oh my God, they're so gross. Pick your favorite place, right? So that's kind of the deal. And by the way, middle of the night situations, I don't know what you girls do. I'm telling you, this was a learning curve. Having lived in my van for starting many months into my 5th year, peeing in a bottle, I took a little learning curve when you're not even asleep or not even awake. You've got one eye open barely, 2:30 in the morning, right? Especially if you've had some libations or a lot of water before you went to bed. I'm like, next time I'm buying purple, so I'm not making the mistake. Not that I drank my own stuff, but it's just the way you travel. Then when you get up, depending on how your biorhythm is, what if you get up at 6 in the morning and use the loo for number 2? Now you're leaving camp wherever you're parked, and you're having to find a toilet to do numero dos, right? So is that a big deal for traveling over the weekend? Probably not. I did it. It was out of my comfort zone. And that was the whole point as this van. But again, how do you want to travel? Do you want to take trips of days? Fine, you could probably make it work. Weeks? I don't know. Now these rigs are meant to roll up into the woods and commune with the moose and mosquitoes. Not my deal necessarily, but if you want to dig a hole at 5 in the morning when it's still dark and the bugs are getting out to do your thing because your biorhythm says that's what it is. By the way, changing time zones, your bowel has no clue what time it is. So again, you're 5 in the morning, you don't want to use your porta potty, your spouse is sleeping, you're out doing your thing in the woods. If you saw our Overland Expo recap, it was a lanyard with a toilet paper roll because when you're digging a hole and squatting, you don't want to get you're finished with the first part of that. Right now, you're in the second phase and you just lost your toilet roll down the hill a little bit. Again, it's the way you travel. I love to poke fun at it because it's a really serious discussion. For me, I'm personally not spending 200 grand on a van. I can't do a number 2 in a loo in private. It's my thing. They've asked me, why am I not in a Storyteller? Love them. Got Volta. Cool rig. Best in class quality for this kind of thing. Can have a toilet. Done. I don't know. So the whole point here is just to figure out your style of travel. How important are those things? What are non-negotiable? For me, it was toilet and a permanent table. This has none. That's why I'm enjoying a demo. So let me know what you think. And my overall impressions, again, is it's a really cool rig. It is not stealth in the sense that it doesn't look like an RV. It looks like an adventure van, and it brings a lot of attention because people think it's super cool, right? The quality is fantastic. It's a cool layout. It's a small space compared to what I'm used to with my Travato for 2 people. It'd be fairly tight. But I love the team. I love the crowd that are associated with it, and they're so welcoming to me and everybody else. So those are my impressions. Let me just flash this really quick. Well, we did that already. These are the modes, if you will. So there's a Ford Transit version. And then there's the Sprinter versions. There are 4x4 on the Mercedes, and those are going fast. And because Mercedes has stopped making them, now they have an all-wheel drive version, which is going even faster. You can go to their website and see this. So this one I'm in currently is going for about 188 grand. And it's a lot of money, no doubt about it. But I think you're getting, pick a number, right? You're paying for it. And if you're the kind of person that likes to pay for quality, you're going to get that with this amount of van here. Here's the beast mode, 218 for the 4x4 going fast. And they're just really awesome vans, and the community that's around it has just really been over the top. Again, they're so welcoming, and they just love the van story, the van community, right? So give us a thumb up. Let me do Libation live. How we doing? Yeah. I'll answer some more questions. I want to get the bottle open because I'm dying to taste it. I have a horror story. We're not going to talk about tonight about bourbon. Okay, so here we go. You ready? There's a warm up. So this is a brand new bottle. I found this in. Let me do this way. In St. Martin, we took a cruise over Christmas. Let me get this thing open. Are you a big fan of these wax tops on these bottles? Like Maker's Mark? All right. Do you hear that? Oh, man. Whoa. So again, this is Evan Williams single barrel vintage. This was put in the bottle in 2022. It's been in the cask since 2014 August. See that? See the bottle number? This is some juicy juice. Ooh. I went and special bought clear cups. I forgot to put cups in this van. Wait till you see the move out, move in video. Just shot that this afternoon. So here we go. Cheers, everybody. Ooh, that is really lovely. Your taste buds always stand up on the first. Good Lord. Let's see. This is 86 proof. I've discovered I like the lesser proof because they don't sting quite as bad. Although it really depends on many varieties. Let me have one more. You ready? Okay, now if I can just not spill that. I'll put that over there. Love to be buying a Storyteller new mattress. All right, this is pretty good. Let me show you what this libation is about. This will give you a little appreciation. This might give me a reason to have another one. So Evan Williams, pretty storied brand. Right, you can go to their website, Evan Williams. This is what I'm sampling right now. 86 proof, delicate amber gold, which is absolutely correct, right? It really looks much less bold in flavor than the color invokes. It tastes better than its light color, which is not always the case. Taste lush, lush and spicy. Oak with honey, apple, orange notes. Yep. Long, graceful. The finish. Long, graceful, and relaxed. That's why these guys get paid money to do this stuff. So I was curious. I did a number of searches on their website to try and find where this could be purchased. What I discovered is it's no longer available. So it's a rare breed, and then I just kind of typed in what might some pricing be, kind of on the aftermarket because it's no longer available at liquor stores, and anywhere from 150 to 300 bucks a bottle. I won't be drinking much of this alone because I love to share these with folks. That's the whole point. But man, is that good? Holy cow. What do you think? All right, let's do some should we do this one or that one? How are my wrinkles looking? Okay, let's do this one. Okay, we got some super chats in here. Let me just so we had Josh, John. Here's the talking about the collapsible hose. So Don, thank you for that. Don, try on. Thank you for that. Here's Jeff in the house. I thought I got to see you in Elkhart, sir, sharing the Woodford dodging the rain. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. That was delightful. That was really good. It's just kind of funny how this community has grown, and I just love it, right? Even though I'm in a competitive SOB, some other brand competitive product, it's just a welcoming community. It doesn't really matter about the van; it matters about the people. And we've kind of got this thing going now where I don't have to be there. I'm pretty sure there's a bottle of bourbon or somewhere, tequila. I've seen tequila at others, where they just show up to be friendly and talk about stories, talk about the beverage, right? It's so great. YouTube user got you. Uh, let's see. Go here. So this is from Roads of Life. Our toilet uses hemp bedding for solids and a container for liquids. We dump liquids every couple days, solids about once a week. Would you accept that if you didn't have a black tank? No, actually, Roads of Life, I would go for Labio. I really don't want to deal with it other than, if it's just urine, there's a number of products you can put in there. There's pea powder, poo powder, pine pellets, kitty litter. So if I'm not going to deal with it, I'm not going to deal with it. So my black tank, I flush it, see it, never see it again. No smells, no spills, no nothing. So I don't really have to worry about separating. So no, I would actually go for Labio, as would Frisco Tea. But I have a black tank, I go with Labio. Now, kind of the irony of that whole thing is even though you have a black tank, you still have a gray tank to deal with. Now, there's a number of ways to deal with that, and clearly it's way less stuff to deal with, but nonetheless, it's way different situation, right? Let's see. Here is so YouTube user says with cassette, do it so the spout is on top, not the bottom. Less chance of spilling. Sort of counterintuitive at first. I got to see it in action, so that's on my to-do list. I'm trying so many experimental things right now that it just has to be on the list. So if somebody has a van nearby that wants to show me and then let me try it, we won't poo in it. We'll just put some water in it. That can be a fascinating little experience. I'm currently in the Denver area for the next, I don't know, through the weekend, early Monday maybe. I don't know. Josh, good to see you, sir. Every poo poo time is pee pee time. Not every pee pee time is poo poo time. Let's give Josh a jingle in the jar for that little rhyme. Gee Louise. Mm. I cannot wait for Vantopia. People are already talking about it. And a lot of the embassy folks are going. I'm so excited. We really must press Terry at Embassy RV and more of the team to come join us. Yeah, this is a great point. Roads of Life. One thing you didn't mention, when you get to a certain age, like at my attained age, it's really nice to take a toilet with you everywhere. So I have a slight confession to make along this topic. So I've been a Planet Fitness guy for years. A little bit of working out doesn't hurt, but I did all my business in my van. I went number one, I went number two, I cleaned my teeth, I've lost my teeth. I did all that in the van in the Planet Fitness parking lot. And then I went in and showered. Because when I'm not connected to resources, I didn't want to use those precious resources on a shower. I usually do that in places where there's facilities. That's the way I roll. Now, having practiced with a toiletless van, I signed up for Anytime Fitness back in February at home base. I've used it now 5 times in the last, I don't know, 12 days or something like that, because they have a private bathroom suite. So it's a sink, it's a shower, and it's a toilet. Never understood the why. Because Chad and Paul in particular, they had a YouTube channel about Storyteller. They had a Travato first and a Storyteller. They didn't use the toilet in the Storyteller. Now I know why. They went to Anytime Fitness, because at any time you could go in and use the loo for number 2. And they have really clean showers. So my apologies is kind of pumping up Planet Fitness when their quality of cleanliness in the bathroom has gone way downhill, way before COVID. I'm actually thinking about doing a versus video on that. So again, for a few days, running into an Anytime Fitness to do your stuff and get a shower, cool. Full-time travel like myself, it's a lot of looking around for a clean loo and shower. So Mesa Mike, look at this. Drink up, salute. Thank you, sir. $2 tip. Thank you. That really helps. That paid for my plastic cups. Thank you. I got like 40 cups. It was $3 at Walmart. I'm like, what is up? Let's see. Let's look for some more. How we do on time? Almost there. Looking for some other questions or toilet talk. Looks like, let me this is so great. All right, let me share this with you, and then we'll call it a wrap tonight. So this is a great song. Let me roll this forward. Hope you had a good time tonight. We had a big crowd in here. Really appreciate it. I've got so many videos coming your way. I've been, again, huge shout out to many of the folks on the Patreon. They had a sneak peek at some of the content around travel, vlog style, VLOG style, less miking, more raw, more sharp cuts to the edits. It's transformed the way I'm doing a lot of things right now, so I get more content out. I'm probably doing 2 to 3 videos a week plus What's Up Wednesday. So trying to pump up the channel. Let's talk about song of the night. Ready? Okay, this is a phonograph player for all those youngins under 30, which are kind of making a comeback weirdly. What about eight tracks? When are those coming back? Cassettes, how about those things? Holy cow. So this comes from the 70s. This is John Denver is the singer. Rocky Mountain High is the name of the song. When's the last time you heard some John Denver tunes? Look at his real name. Henry John Dusendorf Jr. I'd be simplifying my name too. And he loved Colorado. He was a military brat. This is one reason I love and we continue to do the song of the week, because I learned so much about artists. This guy was really great. This song, Rocky Mountain High, hit number 9 on the Billboard chart in 1973. It was released in 1972. He released 300 songs. Now, sadly, he died, I think, in the 90s. He was a aviation enthusiast. He was in his own private plane and crashed. I don't know the story behind that. Didn't dig that deep. But we actually talked about this at the Embassy RV customer campout event this last weekend. He was in the movie, Oh God, which was released in 1977. George Burns starred with him, and they ran around in a Pacer. I think it rained inside the Pacer. Remember that movie? Oh my God, literally. I might have to go rent that and download that, because the dive bar I'm going to for the Harvest Host has really hot Wi-Fi. So if you haven't seen that movie or have not heard that song, spin that up on your music app, or maybe you have a phonograph with an old John Denver record. That would be really great. Okay, one more search. We'll call it a night. Let's see what's going on here. Give us a thumb up if you're having a good time tonight. I just want to thank the Storyteller team again. They did not pay me for this. Most of the stuff I do is help other people make money. I'm serious as a heart attack. Very few things that I do that are sponsored content. Some of the embassy stuff, the live in particular, is what we do, but I would take their money, but because I'm not, even like with Wingham, I can talk about it in a truthful manner. I'm not being swayed, right? So just again, what huge shout out to the Storyteller team, and they're just the greatest people. If you ever been to their stuff, Joe and Kate Russo roam around in one, and they're just the greatest folks. Oh, here's Alfred. Ooh, nice whiskey. Yes, sir. Bourbon, please. This is not whiskey. Been aged in the bottle since 2014. I just opened it up. It went from the cask to the bottle in 2002. It is so good. I'm telling you. The color really is super lightweight, and the taste is so much more rich and bold. It's really good. Thank you. Appreciate that, Alfred. What a guy. Okay, let's see. We got a couple more here. Sam in his Travato 21GL, amazing floor plan. Yes, sir. Thank you, Scott. You're welcome, sir. Congratulations. Stretched out in the lounge mode. Yeah, it's just the greatest thing. This rig, by the way, has no TV, which I'm totally fine with. A lot of people are like, what? There's a few curiosities in here, like the snap on the bed. We talked about that, right? I'm like, So I'm going to give them a little feedback. They get a lot from their customers, so what do they need from me, right? And thank you for your donation there, sir. I appreciate it. And toy car collection in the house. Thank you for that. $5. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Do we jingle? I think. Losing track. How did you find the space between the kitchenette and the groove lounge? Are you talking the width? If you're talking the width, it's pretty narrow. I'm going to guess it's about. I don't know. What do you think? Half of my forearm. So maybe 14 inches. Generous at a 16. It's definitely the narrowest part of the van. That's another thing I get really used to in my van is how wide the Travato G aisleway is. Two people can actually pass in front of the sink and the galley and the fridge, all the way back to the bed. My narrowest point is actually getting into the cab. I do like this implementation better because you don't duck under that shelf, but that's just a thing at the expense of storage. I think we talked about this a lot at the embassy event, that a lot of people take way more stuff than they think they need. That just is a learning curve over time, in my opinion, but thank you for that. I appreciate that. Okay, last look for stuff here. Hey, Dada. Oh, God, great one. 1977. What were you doing in 1977? That would be my question for you. Let's see. 1977. I was. Let's see. I was 12 years old in 1977, so I'm kind of an old one too. Attained age. This is great. All right, with that, let's call it a wrap, and we will say thank you so much for joining another What's Up Wednesday. Appreciate that, and yeah, new place video coming out with a wait until you see how I set up camp in under a minute video Friday morning, and then on Sunday we've got Embassy RV. Why Embassy RV matters, particularly if you are in an HOA, homeowner association, a community, probably buying gates, and they give you tickets for, I don't know, having too many cars in your parking lot, in your garage parking, whatever. You don't want to miss that video. It's pretty powerful. So big thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. We got crazy days. We're doing the Lariat Loop around Denver. We're seeing dinosaur bones. We're seeing the Coors Brewery. We're doing Buffalo Bill. There's a whole lot coming up, all done in the Storyteller, so you don't want to miss a single thing. Until we see you soon, we say journey on. For some of you, that would be to get your journey on. And as always, we like to say, peace be with you. Thanks for watching tonight. We'll see you soon.